was looking at I was looking at some videos on YouTube of other terrain makers, and they were making some hills. Actually, the one guy, what he was doing trenches, and it was pretty cool. It was basically he had the trenches out, and then he was paper macheing the hill up to the trenches. So rather than taking something and digging down into it, he would figure out his trenches and then build everything else up to it. Pretty cool idea. I don't really like paper mache. It's great for for kids and stuff like that, but it's hard to get texture into the hills. Like if you look at ground, it's got little rises and stuff like that, and it's not smooth. It does, like the hills don't. Well, at least around here they sure don't. So, anyways, this is how I do if I'm building up on let's say a table scene, or I'm doing something like Helm's Deep, where it's up. You got big hills. Like on when I do a Helm's Deep, I need a hill at least 2 feet. No, one of the ways I do it is I basically simulate a hill. So I've got a piece of this white stuff. Okay, I'm just going to show you this first here for this simulation. So I'll have, let's say I'm going up this side here, I'll build it up a little bit, and then for a backdrop, I'll just kind of cut my foam, and have kind of like a hill along the side and along the backs, and then just the top edge here, I'll round this off, the top edge, and then it'll look kind of like, a hill there. And usually I don't stick these on. That way, for gameplay, a guy can take them off, right, and then play the game and put it back on for like diorama or display purposes, okay. But if you want a bigger hill, I'm a big fan of this, this high density foam, the blue and the pink stuff. There's not much difference between the pink and the blue, okay. I like the pink a little bit better because it's just a little bit tougher, and for some of the like detailing type stuff, if I'm working on things like this, my demonstration of snakes are it tends to carve just a little bit better because it is harder, okay. So what I'll do is I'll build up the hill, back to the hills, I'll build up the hills with white stuff, okay, and then I'll just bond on just the top ½ inch of this pink stuff, okay. So, I mean, I've got my nice big tall high hill, and I've still got my high density foams, okay? Now that's good if you just want kind of levels and stuff. On the sides, you can always fill that in with plaster of Paris, the steps down to the next level, okay? Now, I've watched the guys, like who did miniatures for, Lord of the Rings and stuff. And what they were using was kind of this white foam stuff, okay, and what they were doing was on their board, they'd how am I going to show you this? Here's a little piece. They'd have it standing like this up on the hills, okay, up to various pieces like this, okay, and then they would kind of contour the hills with just the shape. So like, let's say they wanted the hill to rise, from ground level here, up like that, okay. They would cut out, 5 or 6 pieces of this, well, not 5 or 6, they were doing a huge scene, so they'd have a bunch of pieces like this, all in the same angle, and then they would stick them on their board, like this, glue them on like this, have a couple cross pieces just to hold it all together and stuff, right? And then to do the coating on top of it to give, like the terrain, they would use, brought some out here, where did I leave it? Oh, I should have had all this stuff together for you guys, but oh well. Off camera he goes. Oh, here it is. Tin foil, okay, and this, expanding foam spray stuff. I always use the low density stuff, but in this case, you could use, a higher expanding foam, okay? So they take a length of the tin foil. I'm not going to show you right now because I'm only telling you about it. Okay, they take a bunch of the tin foil out, and they'd spray foam on it, coated all the tin foil with foam, and then they would lay this on top of their little pieces that they've got all standing up, okay? And just lay the tin foil down over top, hey, and kind of meld it into the hill shape that they want, and then let it dry. And then when they pull this off, all this expanding foam would be stuck up on top of all the rises of foam, okay? Just pretty much like laying paper mache over it, but it's all one solid piece of foam. Anyways, we'll do one of those as soon as I make room in here for a big project like that. Because it is kind of a cool method of doing it.